The economy's in the gutter, mortgages exploding, inflation soaring, a generation of young people unable to leave their parents' basements. Small wonder, perhaps, that many major studies suggest that millennials and Gen Z want to ditch capitalism altogether. Can we blame them? So has capitalism failed them? Or actually, as one of my guests is about to argue, is it our best hope? To make the case for capitalism is Fraser Nelson, the esteemed editor of The Spectator, and David Santina, sitting next to me, will doubtless be foaming at the mouth, ready to rebut what Fraser's about to say. So, Fraser, off you go. A defence of capitalism.
Well, it's better than any alternative you can measure. That's quite simple. It has been easily the biggest force for good in the world over the last couple of decades. Especially, we've seen global poverty rates absolutely collapse. We've seen health, wealth, education, levels of child mortality. The level of world poverty has never come down faster. So we're living in a golden age of poverty reduction. Sure, the last couple of years have been pretty difficult. Nobody's saying they haven't. The free market economy, the free enterprise system means things will go up and down. But the overall trend is absolutely transformative. Since China started to get more sort of capitalistic in its in business dealings, its poverty has gone through the floor. The same is true with India. So I think we've now got decades worth of hard facts which prove just how, if you want to tackle poverty, if you want to promote fairness globally, then capitalism is the way to go.
OK, Ava, I can see you nodding away furiously. No, you weren't. Well, I mean, the stats speak for themselves, don't they? Everything Fraser just said is demonstrably true.
Well, I think in broad strokes, yes, but I'll just take a little bit of issue with what Fraser had to say there about poverty, because, I mean, actually the truth is we currently have 14 million people in the country who are living below the breadline, or at least living hand to mouth every month, and that is actually pretty similar to what we saw in the 1970s. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue that we should suddenly go, full Venezuela, but I do think there is an argument for reconstructing the welfare state, which has been left threadbare by, 20
Where
years.
has your socialist dream actually worked?
The NHS.
Because obviously Venezuela, it completely ruined the country.
Mm-hmm. But I would point you towards our fantastic healthcare system, which is a socialist, socialist in principle. And I would also argue that, social housing was very good for many people. I mean, I'm sure you're a big fan of Right to Buy. I'm sure Fraser is as well. It was a fantastic programme, innately socialist.
What is your actual problem with capitalism?
I don't have a problem with capitalism as a concept. I think British capitalism, which is what we're seeing right now, and the strain that we have, the focus that we have on paying out dividends to shareholders and hoping that somehow this kind of trickles down and feeds people at the bottom, that's a system that is demonstrably not working right now. That's what we need to look at.